Hello everyone, my name is Anshika Jain. I am working as a legal intern in Lexington Law Company for the month of July. I hope all of you are staying happy and healthy. Today, my topic of discussion would be about Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017. So basically the first question when we listen to this, it arises that why maternity is so important. What is maternity leave? So maternity leave is considered mainly during, after and before the childbirth. It is very important for safeguarding the health of the woman during her prenatal stage. So when we talk about the maternity history, we know that since ancient times, women in India have suffered various prejudice in every field, whether it be the workplace or in other activities. Our society is dominated by men, and men are serving as a family's only breadwinner. In neither their parents' house nor in in-laws' house, women are never allowed the freedom to select their subject of interest. This demonstrates the nature of a patriarchy. Due to the various economic pressures, many women are stepping out of their homes to assist in increasing their family's income. Every woman nowadays, they have created their own online ventures to pursue a passion and even contribute to the family's income. So women are expected to the multitasking, work in forces and care for their children. As a result, giving specific benefits to females in workplaces has become the priority. So let's talk about the recent changes that have been brought through this act. First of all, the Maternity Benefit Amendment Act of 2017 went into effect on April 1, 2017, modifying the important aspect of Maternity Benefit Act of 1961. The Amendments Act primary sections increased the length of maternity leave while also requiring the businesses to comply with a number of regulations. So various modifications to the maternity benefit include: first is paid maternity leave for women working in companies with 10 or more employees being increased from 12 to 26 weeks. Furthermore, the women employed, they must not take more than 8 weeks of absence before to a projected delivery date. The next was a mother with 2 or more children will not be eligible for the extended maternity leave and will instead be limited to 12 weeks of paid maternity leave, of which not more than 6 weeks shall precede the date of her expected delivery. Second very important change was adoption of a child. Under the amended act, working women who adopt a baby under the age of 3 months as well as commissioning mothers who utilize a surrogate to conceive a child will be entitled to 12 weeks of maternity leave. Third most important was work from home. After 26 weeks of maternity leave, employers can explore a work from home option for nursing moms depending on the job profile and criteria mutually agreed upon the business and concern with the women employed. Fourth was about crash family facility. So we know that every company with 50 or more employees are obligated to provide a facility either separately or in association with their on-site services. The concerned female employee, they must be allowed 4-time visits to the crash facility during the working hours. These visits must include the female employee's rest break. Now let's talk about some of the variety of constitutional provisions that is mentioned in our constitution on the maternity. The first article, that is about Article 14, that talks about right to equality. Next is Article 15, that talks about right of social equality. And then comes Article 16, that talks about right to social equality in the workplace are all the rights and benefits that should benefit the women. Article 39E ensures a sufficient standard of living, while Article 39 subclause D, it ensures equal remuneration for equal effort. And also we have Article 39 subclause E that talks about that employees' health and strength are not exploited. They should have the right to equitable and human working conditions and maternity leave. So we have various provisions, and even more there are other provisions that are mentioned on this, but even there are various loopholes. So let's talk about the obstacles that are faced in this of implementation of the act. There are various obstacles in putting the act into action. Despite companies intentionally attempting to become more gender friendly, there are still frequent incidents of female employees being harassed for disclosing their pregnancy. Furthermore, while the act says that women cannot be fired or discriminated against because she is on maternity leave and that her remuneration should be equal to the average of her daily wage, this act was also being criticized in general. It appears to meet the demands of corporate working women who account for a small percentage of all working women but not of those who work in the informal sector. Around 90% of the unorganized sector, this has led to the violation of their rights. So let's come to the conclusion part. We know that Government of India's welcoming approach of increasing the time period of 12 to 26 weeks has put India in the spotlight and has been praised for its flexibility of women in the workforce. This prolonged leave option has benefited women by allowing them to distinguish between personal and professional obligations, allowing them to devote more time to their jobs. However, there are various other flaws in this act that have been repeatedly criticized. So the government should evaluate this problem and propose a solution to link all the issues, which would be immensely helpful in resolving the challenges. I hope all of you have understood my opinions, my viewpoints about this bill. I request you all to please comment your opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much.